Hi, everyone. Happy Monday. I know this is an odd time, but that's just the time that worked out for today. If you can hear me, I don't even know if anyone's here. I totally forgot to send an email alerting you to this. I was supposed to do this, I think Saturday, but then something came up. I don't even remember. But I'm here now, 2022 Etsy Kickstarter for the digital planners done as well as the weeklies. So don't worry, I won't put them into one video. I'm going to double check the weeklies just one more time because I think there's like 5 or 6, maybe there's 7. There's a bunch of weekly planner templates. So I will do that next. And that is, if you didn't know, weeklies are the most popular format. Everyone always asks me, should I do a monthly? Should I do a weekly? Should I do a daily? Weeklies are still like number one. They definitely rule as the most popular planner type that people want versus a daily. I mean, a daily sounds like a good idea in theory, but a daily does have a lot of pages. It's kind of bulky. And honestly, when I was compressing the daily yesterday on my computer, it took like, I'm going to say like a few minutes, which is not that bad, but usually like before it used to take hours. Anyways. Oh, Kalanu. Yes, here, been waiting. Awesome. Thanks. Okay, so I will stop talking like I normally do because I could just do that forever. I'm going to share my whole screen so that you can see everything. And we're going to go right into the digital planner. So hopefully, yeah, there we are. There's Crowdcast. Hopefully you can see me on Crowdcast too. Oh, Sophia, we can hear you. Thank you, Sophia. All right. So I'm going to open up Adobe Acrobat. So this is the digital planner. It looks exactly like last year's. The only difference is last year was teal. So I did change a couple things I changed. So the background you'll notice is a little darker. I thought it was a better contrast with the blue. Obviously it's updated to say 2022. It has the blue color format. So you'll see the interior looks exactly the same as the regular printable. The only difference is it has all of these clickable tabs. So we're using Adobe Acrobat right now. And actually, hold on. Let me make myself smaller because I was watching these other videos and then there you go. So it should hopefully make the screen a little bit bigger. Okay, so when you are inside of here, if you click any of these, even though this is Adobe Acrobat, if you saved your file correctly, and I will show you how to do that, when you click any of these tabs, March will jump over to March, September will jump to September, November will jump to November. Now, the only thing you'll notice is this says November 14th. And the reason is it doesn't say November 1st because the week before starts on our October starts with October 3rd, then October 10th, October 17th, October 24th, October 31st. So if the very first day was October, I didn't count this as November. I waited until the very first day was a November date, and that's why it's flipped over to November. You can definitely change this if you want, and I will show you how to do that if it doesn't seem as intuitive to you. But it's kind of that decision, like when you have October and November both on one page, like which one do you choose? And I always just use the rule of whatever is the top most left first date, that's the month that it sticks with. So this is still considered an October page, whereas this is considered a November page, which may seem weird because you're like, oh my gosh, we already jumped to November 14th. But that's the rationale behind this because you get 14 pages on each day because it's a 2-page spread. So you can definitely change that. These tabs at the top, this will take you to annual, this will take you to the monthly. And remember, home always takes you back to the first page. I know for some people, home might take you to the first page in the planner. That seems really backwards to me, just the logic. However, you can change it to however you want. If you're like, I use digital planners all the time, Lisa, and that seems more natural. So when you open this up on the iPad I shouldn't say the iPad. I just always say iPad because I have all these Apple products. But if you open this up on any software or a tablet that has annotation capabilities like Goodnotes or Paper 53 or Procreate or any of those apps, then you will be able to use any of these tabs to click around. They will work there. So basically on your computer, if you test it in using Adobe Acrobat and it works there, then it will 100% work on your computer as well. So let's go ahead and jump into the actual InDesign file. Now, here's the end too. Whoops. I know it's way too big. Hold on. Let me resize this. tried to, oh, it's still too big. I changed the dimensions on my computer display, so everything looks super magnified to me, even though I know it kind of looks just normal to you. All right. So over here at the very end, you're going to see 2022 Perfect Planner. It's just the very end kind of page. And then you'll also see over here that the new colors for 2023 will be this green color. All right. So, oh, here's a good one. So anytime you open any InDesign file, if your links are missing, it'll give you this little question mark, like links missing. Also, if you go up here to Window and you go to links, you'll see, well, you won't see a lot because this is so compressed. Oh, here you go. So you'll see anything that has something missing. And that just means that, it can't find the original source file. So you can just fix that by double clicking here. And then you can look for that source file. So it's obviously not here. I think I put it, I have so many things going on. Links. And do I have a file that's called Circle? I don't have a file that's called Circle. Did I rename it? I don't think I renamed it. Hold on. As I go through my gazillion different folders, where's it? 24. Maybe it's in the 2021 links folder. Sales file, links, circle.png. I know I have that file. Let's see. Maybe it's in an older version. Links. There it is. So I'll say open, and now it's linked. Don't worry, I will fix your file. I'll fix that. I'll re-upload it. So don't upload it or download it just yet. I will fix that as soon as we're done here. But okay, so inside this file, that's how you can fix links. And then over here, when you see these little dotted lines here, that means these are hyperlinks. Now, I don't really like looking at the hyperlinks or all of these, like you can see all the text boxes and everything else. It just looks kind of crowded to me. So I usually go up here to the top and I'll just say view, overprint, preview. And then all of that kind of noise goes away. I mean, it's extra useful information. But again, it's just too much for me to look at. So over here on the right, you're going to hit pages. Now, if you don't see that, if you go up to window and you go to pages, you're going to see that flyout menu. And so it has a top area, which is called master pages, and a bottom area, which are just your regular pages. And again, there's a video actually just on my YouTube channel. It's free on just how master pages work, because I think people get confused by those a lot. So here, I'm going to tell you how to change the colors, the fonts, to add your own logo, to do anything else that you want to do to kind of make this file your own. So over here is the cover. And obviously, if you want to make a different cover, all you have to do is take this and you can hit the delete key and just put something else in there instead. Now, if you are like, I don't really hate the cover, I just kind of want to change a couple things, like maybe you want to change, I don't know. Well, I guess you'd have to change a lot. You'd have to swap out the whole thing as is. So you maybe you don't like these circles, like that circle PNG. You could get rid of that. You could change the name of this or anything else. I think I created this in Adobe Photoshop. So you could create something in Photoshop or you can just create something new here. So let's say we don't like this. I could go over here to the rectangle tool. And I could say, you know what, I'm just going to put my own cover over here of something else that I like. I'm just kind of going to eyeball it. Obviously, you want these coils on front. So you're just going to select them, right click, arrange, and say bring to front. And maybe I want to use the type tool. And I'm going to say the best planner ever. And I don't know why it always does Minion Pro. I really don't like Minion Pro. It's like always the default. But let's say I like Poppins and I want to make this bigger. And now I want to make it smaller. And let's say I want to match it. So it's that same blue. So over here at the top, that type tool, you're just going to select this and then you can select any color that's in there. So you'll see the default colors that I put in there. You can obviously add your own. So maybe I just really like purple, or maybe I really like pink. Or if I wanted to add my own color inside of here, if you know the RGB code, you can just hit the plus sign here for a new swatch, double click it, and just add in whatever color. I don't even know. We're just make up letters. That is not a color. It didn't take my letters. So let's try that again. All right. Another way you can do it too is you can move these around and try to create a color. I'm not very good with this. I always like pick a color out in Photoshop and then just use it here. All right, so now it's like that light purple or whatever. If you wanted to, you could add your logo here. So let's see. I think I have a logo. Hold on. I made a new logo the other day for my Lisa Seifert website. The graphic not the graphic design. The what am I trying to say? I made one for the Lisa Seifert book blog. That's what I did. Okay, so you could just drag and drop it. So like I have this logo, I could just drag and drop it somewhere over here. Whoops. Okay, that didn't work. Just kidding. Let's just hit Control Z. All right, like that never happened. That was a JPEG, so it's not a PNG. Do I have a PNG file? I thought I did. Maybe I don't have a PNG file. Hold on, let me find a logo. Lisa Latte, logos, PNGs. All right, I found it. Okay, so I could drag and drop this logo over here. And now that I have a loaded cursor, I could just plop it right here onto the top. There we go. And so then I could add that logo there. Whoops. There we go. So if you don't know what just happened, it's the bounding box around an image. You basically determine how much of it can be seen. So that's all that is. All right. Or if you wanted to add, I think I have a really old logo. Oh yeah, it's the logo for my book. I could add another different logo. Whoops, that's maybe too big. Just drag it over here on the side. And then I have a loaded cursor. I can put that there. Obviously, these have nothing to do with the planner, but just showing you how you can drop your logo into your planner and make your own cover, your own. You could also change the color of this as well. So maybe if you don't like this, make sure the rectangle tool is highlighted. Select, whoops, don't make a new tool. Select it, that object with the direct selection tool. And then here at the top, you can go ahead and change that to a new color. So maybe I want like a light purple, but that's still not light enough. So maybe if I change the tint to a little bit of a lighter tint, or if I change the opacity, oh no, it takes that dark one. So you could just change that tint again to something lower. There we go. And so that's now my new cover. All right, so I think we got the cover done. Again, only if you want to make changes. And then over here, same thing. These are completely editable. I don't know why you would edit them. They've already been checked. But let's say you just want to you don't want 2023 here. So maybe you just want to select all of this, hit the delete, and put something else there like annual plans or annual goals or something else. Over here, these are your monthlies. Look at that. I caught an error. Those should be blue, not pink. So over here, you're going to do, yeah, all these are blue. So over here, if you want to change the font, so again, these are set up just like the other one where the styles are different. So if you go up here to window and you go to styles and you go to character styles, you'll see that this is Think Pink 50. So if I don't like that, I can just double click this. And if I want to change all of these at the same time without going through them individually, let's say I want to change this to Poppins 75. I think that sounds right. So over here, I could go over to Poppins. Oh, where'd it go? Poppins. And I could make this bigger. What did I say? 75. Oh, that's too big for the box. Just kidding. We'll just do 55. There we go. Poppins 55. And let's say I also want a different color. So maybe I do like that hot pink, and that's the color I want. So I could make these all hot pink. Now I'm going to say okay. And if I look at each month, it's already done. So everything's already magically changed. Same thing with that number underneath. If I highlight it and I look at the character styles, I can see that's text to 26. And just like the other day, we could change this to what's something like Moonstone of, I don't know, 20. And so over here, we'll select Moonstone. And for size, we'll say 20. And for color, let's say we want a pink, or maybe we want something else contrasting. Maybe we want that light blue. And we're going to say, okay. And so now you're going to see everything is magically changed. So it works just like the other sheet. Everything kind of just magically changes for you if you use character styles. So let's go into each of these individual sheets. So if you want to change the font on these, it works the same way. You can see that's Think Pink weekly headers. You go through that whole same process and change everything all over again. I think these are, I don't think these are styles. Are these styles? Oh, I lied. This is a style. So you could change all the dates as well, all at once. And then the weekdays, yep, that's also a style. So you can change everything, all the colors, the fonts, the text, everything uniformly with one click as long as you're using styles. And if you don't remember, I found that by just going to Window, Styles, and then Character Styles, and then that menu will pop up for you. And then anytime you highlight any text, it will tell you what style, if any, is associated with it. You know, if you highlight some text and nothing pops up, that means nothing's associated with it. Like if I go to the annual, I don't think there's any styles associated with these. Yeah, none. There are no styles associated with the actual months and the headers for these. So those you would have to change manually. All right, so let's go back to our sheet. So now you know how to change the colors, the fonts, I guess that's it, the size, all of this uniformly. So let's talk about how to add new pages. So you'll notice the numbering for this is a little different. This is not absolute numbering. It's what's called section numbering. So section numbering is how the digital planner works. It's what allows when you jump around for this to go to February, it's actually going to section February, which inside of here is coded as, let's find that February page, which is 2.1. So if you were in the digital planner live stream that I did last week, you'll know that every time there is a new month, I call that section a number. So 2 corresponds to February, 3 corresponds over here to March, 4 corresponds over here to April, and May corresponds to 5. So, et cetera, and so on. So I always try to match them up so they match exactly with the month number. So that's why when you see here, the top ones, home, annual, and monthly, those sections are letters because obviously if I called home 1, then I couldn't use 1 as the section for January. So you can use letters or numbers when you create sections. Now, let's say the most logical place I think where you probably might want to add pages is maybe after the annual. Maybe you want to add some pages for people to put notes or put goals or something, or you want to put a welcome letter or something like that. So what you're going to do is wherever you want to place the pages after, highlight that page over here on the Pages flyout, which remember is just up here, Windows, Pages. And you're going to right click that and really simple, you're going to select Insert Pages. Now, when you insert pages, I could put 5 pages, I can put 10 pages. It'll put as many pages as you want. Now, remember, this is a 2-page layout, but it is on 1 page within Adobe InDesign. So we're kind of faking people out that it's a 2-page layout. So you're not adding, every time you add 10 pages, it's in theory adding 20 pages of a layout, if that makes sense. So I'm going to say after page B1, which is the page we have highlighted here, and then master, all of those pages up here at the top, those master pages appear in this drop-down menu here. So it's basically asking you what master page do you want to apply? You always want to apply the one right before it. So it's going to be the annual. So you're going to say, okay. And the reason you're going to do that is because that's what corresponds up here at the top to that section. So you'll see here, it's B2, B3, B4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. And then after that, if we had pages over here, well, we probably wouldn't do that in the monthly section. But let's say we wanted to add, well, I guess you could, it doesn't matter. If you wanted to add pages over here, you would right click, insert pages. We could add 10 more pages after C1, which is selected here. And we would just use C monthly as the master. And we'd say, okay. And now you can see we have C2, C3, 4, all the way to 11. And then it just resumes numbering again right there where it was before. So section C has 16 pages. And so basically all of those pages are contained within that hyperlink section. And then when you click the hyperlink January, which corresponds to 1, then it will jump to this page and it will have skipped all of these pages before. I know it's a hard concept to grasp, but hopefully that made sense. So if you want to create extra pages, up here, there are 2 that aren't included down here. One is white pages only, and that's in case you don't have any tabs and you just want to put something else, you want to create new tabs. You can use this as a master page. Or over here, if you just have the background, and let's say you just want to put a big quote across the page, or you want to add stickers to this page or something else, you can use this page. Another thing that you could do as well is you could go ahead and you could create your own master page up here. If you hit the plus sign, create new master page, it'll just say master. You could rename this to anything you want. So maybe E is like a notes page. And you could just say, okay, so that would be like a page, a mother master page where you're just going to stick some notes in there. Again, up to you, however you want to sort of play around with this and add pages or delete pages. And of course, you could do nothing except the first things I showed you, which were change the color, the font, and just the color, the font, and the sizes around. And then your planner would work perfectly. All right, so really important part, when you're done with this, you want to make sure that you save this file out. Let's hide that styles. Okay. When you save this out, you want to make sure that usually you do save as, which is fine. That will save the InDesign file. Or even if you do package, it will create the InDesign and the PDF file for you. The PDF file that's created from package, you cannot use to update, to use as the PDF. It will not have clickable links. The only way to make sure this has clickable links is to go to File, Export. And then from here, what you're going to do is you're going to go ahead and say, from this drop-down list, PDF Interactive. So let's just call this our test file. And we'll say, okay. And then, let me just go back really quick. I just want to make sure you know that when you save this out, test file, the other Adobe PDF print obviously means it's going to be printed on a printer as a physical piece of paper. And if you do that, the interactive link won't work. So make sure you choose Adobe PDF Interactive, not print, because I'm 99.9% sure most people, the default for them is print, not the interactive. So we're going to go ahead and say test file. If you want, you can do, I usually do automatic. JPEG quality, I usually do max resolution. I usually do 144, but again, you can do whatever you want. If you need to make the file smaller, click export, and you can see it's generating all of those pages for you. When it's done, it will automatically open that PDF for you inside of Adobe Acrobat. There we go. So now we can see our best planner ever, Lisa Seifert with the Frosted Misfortunes logo. And then over here, we can see that blank page because we made it blank, and we can see that our links are still intact and are still working. So the only way you can break this file is if you don't do a file export as Adobe Interactive. You can also see all those random blank pages that we put inside here as well. So hopefully that helps to give you some confidence that you can make these as you want. Oh, I forgot to mention. So you'll notice on those new blank pages that we made, that coil is missing. So that coil was physically pasted on each page. It is not part of the master. And the reason it's not part of the master is because you need to place it on top of whatever elements you're going to do. So like if you were going to do a full page of, let's go back to our InDesign file. So let's say on one of those blank pages, we were going to do a full page image of, I don't know, something. Let's see if I can find an image. That Adobe. I had an image, license history. I think the other day I used a latte mug that was blue. Okay, so let's say I want to take one of these and I am simply going to drag and drop this so it takes up pretty much the whole page. And I'm going to extend this out to the right. And I'm going to take this image and I'm going to stretch it out. Okay, so now this is on the whole left page and on the right page. And over here on the left page, I want to put another latte mug because I just really like lattes. And this one is taking up way too much space. There we go. And if I select this middle tool, it's going to move it around to the center. Okay, so now I've taken up that whole space. So all I have to do is go to another page, copy, just highlight this thing, hit Control-C to copy it, go back to that other page I was working on and paste it. So hold on, I think that's still a little too, too far to the right. There we go. All right, so now it's on top. So if it doesn't automatically go on top, you can just say arrange, bring to front. Obviously it is on the front, so there is no bring to front because it's already there. So now it looks like these images are underneath that fake spiral. That's the magic that you kind of make happen when you go to each page is you are the one who places the spiral on there. And that's the reason it's not on the master, because if it was on the master, it would be underneath whatever you have, and then you'd have to break the master, which you don't want to do. So that's it. Let me see. Does anybody have any questions? Oh, you guys do have questions. Let's see. Is this just one for the digital version? Let me. The digital version we need to get as an add-on, right? Yeah, digital is totally separate, only because not everybody wants digital. So if you go to the shop, there's a whole slew of digital planners that are standalone. A question: if I want to add in some additional pages into a month, do I need to make master pages for them or just add new pages? You can just add new pages. And so the master pages are really just there because they have the hyperlinks already done for you. How do we add in usable stickers onto a page? So you'd have to create stickers. Stickers are just images, just so you know. There's nothing magical about stickers, if that makes sense. So stickers are just PNGs that you add to a file. And I actually don't make stickers. I think everybody knows I am incapable of drawing. I'm just not good at it. And so you can't really sell images of other people's drawings. So that's just why I never do stickers. Does the PDF work in any format now? How do we sell it just as this interactive PDF? So two things you can do. So one, if you download the PDF that's included in your 2022 digital planner, it is already an interactive PDF. I will make those changes to those typos that we just saw. So give me a minute. But that you can sell as is. If you sell the PDF, if you file, export, and have a new PDF, you can sell it like that. So all people have to do, I think if this is what you're asking, is you have to go ahead and make those that PDF available to people to download, and then give them some instruction on how to open it onto their iPad or their tablet or whatever. You can't just email it to yourself. In Goodnotes, there is a new feature where you can email yourself a PDF file to your Goodnotes account. So it's like it only lasts for a minute. You just say, how do I email myself Goodnotes stuff? And then it will come up really quick. I don't know. I think I need an iPad to do this. Hold on. Let's see. Goodnotes. Can I show you on here? Yeah. Just kidding. You do need to use an iPad to do that. I'll make a video for you guys after this. Yes. Okay. How do we make stickers usable in the PDF? It's not that you make it usable. You have to tell people how to use the stickers, which again is a whole other tutorial. And since I don't have stickers in here, it's really hard to show it to you. Kalinu, do you have a special on the digital? I tried to get it the other day with the Etsy set, but that didn't work. Oh, yeah, I do. If you use the code digital50, you can get 50% off of that. Well, actually, any digital planner in the shop right now for this week. So, yeah. So I hope that helps. Let me see if anyone has any questions on Crowdcast. No one has any questions. Everyone is good to go. All right. Well, I'm around. Let me know if you have questions once you open the file. I will definitely fix those errors. And yeah, so I will upload it again in a few minutes. I'll delete the one. Hold on. Let me delete it now. The one that's there so you don't accidentally download it from the shop. Great. I deleted the file from the shop. So I will upload the new one in a few minutes. And then I will either be back, you know how it is. I'm planning to be back today with the weeklies to show you how to edit those. If not, I will be back tomorrow at noon. All right. I hope everyone's having a great start to their week. And I will tell, oh wait, Kalunu, how do we make extra pages have tabs to open? You don't have to do anything to make them have tabs to open. Hold on, let me show you. So your tabs are all inside of this master page. So remember how at the very beginning I said, oh, it's so annoying. I can see the tabs. If you go to view and you turn off overprint preview, everything that has a dotted line around it is a hyperlink. So if you want to add pages with those hyperlinks, all you have to do, every single page on here, every master page, except obviously the blank ones, have hyperlinks on them. So it's just a matter of choosing whichever page you want. So like I said, if you're adding more pages to say February, you would right click and you would say insert pages, like 10 pages again after page 2.2, and you would model it after February because that's what'll show up. You'll say, okay. And if we look at those blank pages, you'll see that February is that first tab on the right. January is that first tab on the left. So that's how you add in extra pages. Now, one thing to note is I do have these pages set up with lines in them. That's how the master pages work. If you were like, you know what, I would really like to not have those lines, here's what you can do. You can go to February, you can right click and you can say duplicate master spread. So we'll duplicate that. I don't know why it always drops it at the bottom. And we can rename this to B or something like that. So you know it goes under February with no lines. And you can say, okay, so I can move this up here just because for me, logically, I just need things in order. And if I double click on this page, so I know it's the one selected because it's the one selected here in that pages panel. And I can go ahead and I can click these lines and I can hit delete. Now I have February with all those tabs on the top and on the right, but now the page is totally blank. So I can do whatever I want onto this page. So on this page, maybe I want to stick something else, or maybe I just want to leave it blank. And then I want to add that down here. So over here under February, I could add some other pages after here. I could say insert pages after page 2.2. And I could say for master, I now want to use that new one I created, February with no lines. I'd say, okay. And then it would add those pages down here. So it's still within that February section. So it will still be in the right section in the right order. But now I have a blank page instead of a page with those lines, if that makes sense. So good question. I'm so glad you asked that. I should have added that earlier. I didn't answer the question you wanted. Okay. I mean, interactive. How do we make pages have tabs to be open? So to make it interactive, you had to do what I showed you, that file export. So over here, to make sure that these tabs work, you just do file, export, just like I showed you before, and then make sure that the format is Adobe PDF Interactive. And as long as you save that file as Adobe PDF Interactive, that PDF will have linkable tabs. So, no, you answered it. Okay, perfect. All right. And don't forget, if you run in, once you start working with the files, I know once you start doing something, if you can't figure it out, just shoot me an email. I will be happily to just make you a quick video tutorial or answer your question for you really quick. All right, guys, I will talk to you soon, or I will talk to you tomorrow. One of the two. I'm not sure. All right. Bye, everyone.